Hey, just want to share with you I'm on my last walk in Fort Wayne, Indiana. We got the call a little while ago and we are heading back to Tennessee. So I've got everything packed and taking my last walk. And I know that I said I would share the other day about what it was like to meet my brother for the first time. But I actually needed a couple days just to kind of process on it and think about it before I shared. So it was is still very surreal. And what happened was I talked to his wife for about 40 minutes. And that's where the last video ended, was me sharing that I had talked to her and I really, really, really like her. And they live about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours from where my mom lives, which is where I was heading because she had just had a stroke 12 days ago. So I was heading there to see her. And I don't think I was at my mom's house 15 minutes and the phone rang, and it was my brother's wife. And she said he'd like to know if we could meet tonight. So I went ahead and shared with my mom that I had gone and met David, is his name, that I had met him. Or actually, I hadn't met him yet, that I had met his wife, and that he wanted to meet. So I made arrangements. My sister went with me. Her husband stayed behind in case my mom needed anything. And we drove the hour and a half back up, and we sat with him at a Cracker Barrel restaurant for 4 hours. I figured he picked Cracker Barrel because he knows I'm from the South. Everybody in the South likes Cracker Barrel, right? But so we went, spent 4 hours, and we laughed and we talked and we shared, and he asked a lot of questions, and I tried to answer them the best I could. But the one thing, I guess the one big learning experience I got out of it was that, it was really fun the first day, the first night. I went out of there, it was kind of like the honeymoon stage. And the next day, I woke up and I realized I felt sad. And I reflected back on the conversation, and several times he just made comments like, it's been 62 years, and, why did we wait so long? And not in a judgmental way, more in just one of those, man, so much time, so much time's gone by. And I gotta tell you, I'm walking in these leaves. I don't know if you can hear them crunching under my feet, but you don't get leaves like this in Tennessee. But I was saddened by that, and I spent the day kind of feeling bad about it. And then I got to thinking, just like we talked about with fear, that you can't have regrets either. And I can't worry about what did or didn't happen yesterday, let alone, 50 years ago. And I've got to just focus on the time we've got now, Do I wish I would have contacted him 30 years ago? Yeah, I do. Really nice guy. Really, somebody that if I met at work or at church or something, I would love to have a relationship with him and his wife. But it didn't happen that way. But it did happen this way, because I could have let that fear stop me. I could have let that fear of what if he rejects us, or what if he doesn't like us, or what if he's angry, because all of those could be very legit. I could have let all of those stop me from doing it. And what I didn't share with you before, and I hadn't planned on sharing it, but I will, is that 25 years ago, I contacted my other brother, his his sibling, his full sibling. They grew up together. And it went really well for the first few years, and then he decided he didn't want to have a relationship. And so I think when I went into this one, that might have been kind of what took me so long, was I was concerned that the same thing might happen. But, and not to say it won't, because I just met him, but I don't think it will. I don't know why, but I don't. So that's how it went. With respect to the other brother, strangely enough, I just reached out to him too, through his wife and Facebook, and just let him know that, you know what, I've always wanted to have a relationship. I'll always be open to having a relationship. And if it's ever something that you want, you know, I'm a phone call away. So that's how the story ended. And you know, I just know now there's going to be probably a lot of questions and a lot of getting to know each other, I hope, you know. And how it ended, I should tell you this, how it ended was him, after 4 hours, saying, well, I guess I have 2 sisters, don't I? And he hasn't even met her brother yet. But that he's got 2 sisters, and he said, you will hear from me. So it won't be in the next couple days, but you will hear from me. And I just said, yeah, I said, you know, probably takes a little time to process. And he said, yeah, I didn't know about this 3 hours ago, which was kind of a joke because really we had sat there for 4 hours, but you know what I mean. He said, I didn't know about this just a few hours ago. So that's it, you know. I hope to have some good updates about it, you know, and maybe some good updates with the other brother as well. But all that to say, I'm not going to focus on the regrets. I'm going to look forward, and I'm going to enjoy the time I've got. I'm going to do the true live one day at a time. I'm not going to look at yesterday. A friend of mine has said there's 2 days in the week that we should never be concerned about. One is yesterday and one is tomorrow. And that's how I'm going to live this out. So anyhow, we are going to finish packing up. I took my last walk down this beautiful street, and I'm going to head back to Tennessee. So you have a great day, and God bless.